What's up, everybody? Flames38 here. Venturing into the Outer Wilds here on Outer Wilds. Did you think I was going to get it flipped? I'll never get it flipped. Outer Worlds doesn't exist in my brain. Outer Wilds is all that matters. I have a plan. Oh, hey, buddy. Our first course of action, this is going to be another standard loop. Our first course of action is going to be head back to the Ash Twin Project lab again and take a closer look at that. Do all the text, not in any rush. There you are. I did have one off-screen eureka moment. It was like 10 minutes after I finished recording last time. I pieced together that thing that everyone who has played this game and is watching this was probably yelling at the screen for a significant portion of last session. Because I've given a lot of thought to, hey, what am I supposed to do about that input thing on the vessel? And I finally figured out, oh god. I'm okay. Ow. Excuse me. Okay, so that's non-recoverable. So this is going to be what the hell? Why does it look like this? Oh, I was inside of the. Things are off to a great start today. So not only is my ship, I believe, damaged beyond repair, it is now also clipping through the environments, and I think it's fair to say. I will not be getting it back this loop, but that is fine by me because our main goal this time, well, it does suck. I won't get any oxygen refills, but hopefully we will survive long enough. In fact, I'm gonna go stop over by Chert. I shouldn't use too much fuel, but let's give Ash Twin a couple of minutes to empty out, so that the towers will show up. And let's make sure we have some oxygen in the meantime while we're waiting on that. But yeah, that input of all the hexagons is something that has been puzzling me until finally, unfortunately off camera, it no longer puzzled me. Because I remembered there is one very specific thing in which it would be... in which I might know what kind of inputs to put there. Unfortunately, my plan was to check my ship log in order to get that information, and that won't be happening this loop. But in terms of questions and answers and things we've been wrestling with, remember how we got those coordinates to purportedly where the Eye of the Universe is? And I said, well, I can't do anything with those coordinates because I'm not allowed to use the translator text on them. It's because those were not text. Those were symbols, and those symbols happen to be ones that I believe I can plug into that little hexagon grid. So, I need to double check what those coordinates are, and then before I commit to this, I want to go back to Giant's Deep and double check to make sure the coordinates don't change. I don't think they would, because it seems like there was just one single probe that found it. And that probe has already, that was in a previous cycle, that was from a cycle before we even started our looping process, it seems like. So that's that. Okay, I see some towers popping up, so we'll probably be able to get on in there soon. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Ow! God damn it! I am interpreting that so the probe cannon only needs to work once. So that probably, I think we got that text, they said that. So that probably has been on a very brief loop since the Nomai were around. But the mask memory thing has not necessarily been happening up until something malfunctioned in Ash Twin Project, which set off our looping, I think is what the timeline is there. So I would assume that probe just like, I gotta hope that it found it. The issue being, we know that, I can make it right. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. The issue being that the Eye of the Universe is, from what we can tell, incredibly quantum focused. So there's no guarantee it's going to be in the same place every single time. But also, they keep talking about the quantum moon being at a 6th location. So hopefully that location is kind of locked in place. Even though they followed the coordinates to where they thought it was, and it wasn't there, so it clearly can move around. I don't know. I'm nervous about this leading to the wrong place. And this is all also predicated on the thing that in order to get that advanced warp core, I need to deactivate Astron Project, which I'm interpreting as, look, if I get an official game over and it sends me back to the very beginning of the game, technically I can still, within 1 cycle or maybe 2, I the player, still have all the memories of the previous loops. But in terms of the canon of the game, I would like to treat it with the gravity of, if I fail after deactivating Astron Project, that's it. We're done, because the loop is over. So even though technically I know I'd be able to get a second shot at it pretty quickly, I'm trying to treat that with the seriousness of, I've got 1 shot, and I gotta make it count. So I am also, it's very funny because earlier in the game I was like, not making fun of the Nomai, but I was pointing out of like, they're putting a lot of faith into this Eye of the Universe when we don't even really know anything about it. There's no really way of knowing for sure if it could actually help. And now, like, it's kind of all I have, and I have to risk everything just for the chance to get a look at it. And I'm forced to kind of have to put in the same leap of faith that all the Nomai did, in the desperate hopes that it'll actually help. Because really, all I really need is something that can move, kind of all I need is something to move the interloper out of the way. Because it seems like that's the thing that actually destroys the sun. That doesn't give us an explanation for why so many other suns are disappearing, for why the universe is apparently ending. And I don't know if that would fix that problem. But the temporary our solar system is about to die in 20 minutes thing does seem like it is caused by the interloper, and I would like to stop that, please. So if the Eye of the Universe can accomplish that, that would be swell. Anyways, let's take a look at what we got here, because we did not have time to read all this last time. 11 minutes, 8 seconds ago, received data from previous cycles. Mask receiving data from probe tracking module, Giant's deep memory statue, Timber Hearth memory statue. 11 minutes until end of cycle transmission. It still feels weird to me that it says probe tracking module has an active mask and not quantum moon, because I really figured Solanum would be the last one. But Solanum also keeps talking about how she thinks she might be dead, so maybe she's also looping, but not because of the Astron Project, just because of quantum shit. But we've been to the probe track module, and I didn't see anybody there, although that's a place I want to double check. Oh, maybe the mask is just... That is a mask that's not actually tied to someone, or if it is, that person has perhaps passed away. But the data being sent back is just what's going on with the probes. So having an active mask there is still useful, even if the person is gone. I just really assumed there would be a third person linked up to everything, but maybe not. Okay, let's read a fuck ton of text. Yarrow. Today we finished the excavation of Ash Twin. Here in this space we carved, we will craft our most ambitious project yet, the Ash Twin Project, powerful enough to send information back in time. Coleus. We've also finished relocating all subterranean plants we met while digging. Met? Rami, we'll need to keep our eyes on how significantly we've altered the environment here. Pi. How far we've come since our experiments at the High Energy Lab. I still can hardly believe Rami's hypothesis was true. Yeah, you never believed that was true until very, very explicit proof. Poke just sent the warp core for the final tower to us from the Black Hole Forge. Now Ash Twin can be connected with Giant's Deep, where Cassava is working with Avens to craft the orbital probe cannon, and where Phlox is sculpting the memory statues. Hypothesis. It was not by accident the core of our warp tower was the last to be forged. Okay. What do you mean by that? Hypothesis. The cores could have been forged faster if Cassava had interrupted my work less frequently to ask for updates. The important thing is we are all connected through Ash Twin now, and also that I'm no longer needed for mediating your disagreements. Glad they still add the sense of humor while the music is indicating this is one of the most important discoveries in the game. Our friends on Giant's Deep tested the orbital probe cannon today. Mallow tells me the cannon is doing well, and that Avens advocates for more launch power. If anyone can coax the maximum power from a device, Avens can. But then, if anyone can goad a device into exploding, that too is likely Avens. Perhaps I should check in with the orbital probe cannon crew in the interest of safety. Would it help to remind Avens that Mallow, his love, will be one of the Nomai aboard the cannon, or is Mallow part of the problem? That was just notes to himself there. That wasn't even a conversation. Phlox and Daz finished the memory statues today, and they are truly remarkable. When the Ash Twin project succeeds, or in the event it fails, the memory statues will activate, allowing us to gather more data before we shut down the project. Pi and Idea have worked hard on the Sun Station, and it at last is complete. If everything goes as planned, the structure will prompt the Sun's explosion, which will in turn supply the power the Ash Twin project requires. Interesting. I'm impressed by their mental fortitude. This was the project's most difficult task, in more ways than one. Okay, so they actually did have a reason for blowing up the sun, and it seems like they probably were trying to do that right around the time they discovered us. So not only did Sun Station not work properly, I do remember there were still some people being like, we shouldn't do it, because there's life that could evolve to be intelligent here. It'd be kind of messed up to blow up the sun. But at least they weren't doing it for funsies, which is what it seemed like at first. We're nearly ready to activate the Ash Twin project. Here's what will happen. First, the Sun Station will receive the order to fire at the Sun, prompting it to explode. Using the energy from the resulting supernova, the Ash Twin project will send the order for the orbital probe cannon to fire back in time by 22 minutes. Exactly 22 minutes after these orders are received, the Sun Station will again trigger the supernova to send the probe data from this cannon launch back in time. In total, each cycle created by the Ash Twin project will last precisely 22 minutes. We can end this cycle at will. So what does the interloper have to do with this? Well, we got data from the Sun Station that it didn't work properly. Hang on. Oh, they planned to blow up the sun on purpose. That didn't work. The Sun Station didn't work. So then the Ash Twin project was just put on a hiatus, and then all the Nomai died out. A long time has passed. Then the interloper showed up, blew up our sun, and now that has activated the Ash Twin project in the same way that they initially intended to do on purpose with the Sun Station. So in a weird way, the interloper is both the interloper is the cause of the sun exploding. That's bad. But also, in a way, because of the way the Ash Twin project was set up, it coincidentally, the sun exploding is what allowed the loop to happen. That's really interesting. That's incredible. That's wild. These words are difficult to write. Okay, I probably pieced that together right before it was going to explain it for me. But still, I felt smart figuring that out, so I'm happy. These words are difficult to write. The Sun Station did not work. However, this is the closest we have ever been. The Ash Twin project is theoretically sound. We were only unable to power it. Perhaps there is another way. Suppose God, I'm really, on this big lore dump, I'm really stumbling over my words here. Suppose we redesign the Sun Station. To generate power of that magnitude, a supernova is still our only viable option. I believe we can still find a way to create a supernova, my friend. Don't lose hope. This is easier expressed than accomplished. You can wait for the sun to explode on its natural timeline if you prefer, Adea, but you'll need to find some way to halt our aging process. Okay, I don't love Pi, Pi might have been one of the ones that died on the Interloper, and I remember that death being pretty sad, but also Pi needs to chill. We are halting our research into creating supernova for this moment. A comet has newly arrived in the solar system, and we're anxious to explore it. Huh, funny that. It's been a very long time since we last explored somewhere new, so we're excited to welcome this comet. Imagine what knowledge might be gained there. Yeah, bad news, guys. Okay. I don't remember what we've seen from this and what we haven't, so let's just go through it all. I've installed the masts inside the Estrum project. They look beautiful, although it feels like I'm being observed. Phlox. It's comforting to know the statues will not pair until this project succeeds, otherwise I imagine the experience will be hard to endure. Ideally, they only need to activate once the project succeeds. As a safety measure, however, the statues will also activate in the event of equipment failure. They will, why is that? If anything goes wrong with the Estrum project, statues and their masks will make us aware of the situation and enable us to fix it, otherwise it will be possible for us to remain permanently unaware of the problem. I hadn't thought of that, what a profoundly horrific fate that would be. And then the Nomai died out before that could happen. Luckily, we were around to also get some mask shit going on. My gratitude for the latest shipment. Oh, I'm almost positive we've read this because this was... Yeah, this is in the Timber Hearth Cave. Yeah, make sure there's no physical entrances. And, yeah, pilots come in. Alright, so one more to double check here. The Brittle Hollow one. Which, again, very good chance we've already seen these, but worth double checking. I have good news. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed in the central chamber. I'm intrigued. I love everyone here is working on the Astron project. Excited to see it. Perhaps beside herself. No, it isn't. Is everything well at the forge? Yeah, they wanted to improve durability. Yeah, okay. We've read all those, but again, good to double check. All right. Artificial gravity control. I don't think this is that useful, but I could... Well... Oh, the core is probably going to show up there, huh? Probably going to open up in this cool thingy. Alright, so yeah, let's... Shit. Still not great at the zero-G of it all. Let me just double check all of the implications here. You're about to access the core while the Astron project is active. Removing the core will disable the Astron project. So yeah, that's really our one-shot, one opportunity. Well, I mean, we can... Hang on. Removing the core will disable it. So we can at least open it up and just not take the core out. This is all prep work. Yep, there it is. There is a third thing down here. Is that just when I take the warp core out, it'll let me know, hey, you're fucked? Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and meditate. That's all we're gonna get from that. Alright. Okay. So there's a couple more things I want to do before we make the final run. I would like to chat with all of our other astronauts, which is going to be the guy on Owl Rock, whose name I don't remember, I'm sorry. And Gabbro, because we've already checked in with Rybeck and Feldspar and Chert. I want to see if they have anything else to say, and then I'm going to check the coordinates to see if it's in the ship log, and then I'm also going to go back to Giant's Deep to double check to see if they've changed. Those are the two things I really want to get done. And then I would love to get back to the vessel and just have one run, because it's been a couple days. I'm confident I can get back to the vessel. I would like to get back to the vessel one more time before I am racing for my life to get that done in time. So, also I'm curious what else the ship log has to say. There are 8 models with Nomai masks attached. 3 of the masks are actively receiving data from the probe tracking module, Diligence Deep, and Timber, respectively. The Astron project was designed to use the energy from a supernova triggered by the Sun Station to send probe data from the orbital probe cannon 22 minutes in the past. The Sun Station did not work. Although the Astron project was theoretically sound, the Nomai weren't able to power it. There's an advanced warp core inside the protective casing at the center of the planet. Removing the core will disable the Ash Twin project. That is stressful. Okay, so probe tracking module. I'm going to... It just flat out tells me I found Nomai coordinates marking the location of the Eye of the Universe. I'm going to write these down on the little whiteboard I have here. We've got, starting from the bottom, diagonal left, diagonal right across. Then we have this kind of runic symbol of up, across, down. And then we have a little N. Can we do it? Yes. It kind of looks like the word can. But yes, I want to head back there and just double check to make sure those coordinates aren't changing, because that would add another stop on our list essentially of things. There's a couple things I'm worried about in terms of quantumness, because if the coordinates don't change, then I think that's all there is to it. If the coordinates do change, then that means I have to, within one cycle, get to Giant's Deep, check the coordinates. Actually, no. If that's confirming that it's moving every time, that would be bad. What I would have to do is probably go to Quantum Moon. And I don't think it's going to be this, because I would essentially be without a ship. Because... no, I guess I could... go to Quantum Moon, get it to the 6th location, take a picture, but then it would be stuck at the 6th location, and I wouldn't be able to get back out unless I jump onto unless I jetpack out of the moon, in which case I would no longer have my ship. I can't access my ship and be at the 6th location, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think that's going to be what it is, but in theory, if it was required of me to hold the Eye of the Universe in a singular location, the way to do it would probably be getting to the 6th location on Quantum Moon and taking the picture. But I don't think that's going to end up being the case. The alternative, which I actually think is weirdly less likely, is I could just come back to Giant's Deep to check what the new coordinates are each cycle. But because of the way the probes have been working, I don't think that would make sense. Also, hang on. In a weird way, if the probe is actively transmitting back, I mean, that probe, the weird thing is that probe no longer exists, sort of, because it's from a previous cycle. But it is technically data that is being sent back in time. You know? And so I guess the operative question is, does that data being sent back count as... It probably doesn't, but could it possibly count as being observed? In which case, would that hold the Eye of the Universe in place? I don't think Gavro's here. I think this is where the... Whoa. Right? Gavro was pretty accessible, I think. I don't think I needed to get through any, like, obstacle courses like Ghost Matter or anything. But this isn't Gavro's Island. And that's not Gavro's Island. Maybe that was it. Dang it. I'll find it. I think the campfire I do think is meant to be an indication. So maybe it was silly of me to assume that wasn't it. Oh wait, but did I just land on a... Yeah, I just landed on the wrong side of the island. I can talk to Gabba whenever I want. A few loops ago... Oh wait, is he... Are they Patrick Warburton? I think so, yeah. A few loops ago, a cyclone came by and tossed my little island into space. Sounding like that was kind of unpleasant. What's up? Yeah, might as well check in with some of these. So the Nomai created those head statues to record memories, huh? Yeah, I could see the Nomai doing that. Not sure what before, but it seems like their sort of thing. Think statues are recording our memories then? Because I remember that one on the beach looked at me funny. That must be my memory friend. Found the source of the time loop. Wait, whoa, really? The Nomai carved out Ash Twin and built a time loop device inside? That's wild. Now I know what's causing the loop then. If it's caused by a device, that must mean it had to be switched on, right? Huh. Hey, what do you think would happen if you turned off the time loop? Like, there's a part of me that thinks maybe you shouldn't, what with the sun blowing up and all. And again, who wants to spend eternity being blown up by the sun? Well, I'm no time loop expert. I'm just going to sit here and ponder the intricacies of time and space. Maybe take a nap too, if I feel like it. Found the Nomai masks. You're saying the statues were made so memories could be sent back in time. I guess that makes sense, considering we both have our memories of every loop we've gone through. Wait, it's just our memories being sent back in time to us, right? Then, are we really experiencing multiple time loops or not? That's pretty deep. Like maybe our consciousnesses have been through all these loops, but maybe our bodies haven't, because technically the loops never happened. Meaning we're receiving memories of things that will never happen to us. Cool, huh? Oh, wait. Whoops. I found a photo of you, I guess. Nice. Did I look busy in it? I hope I looked busy. Must have been from the time Hornfels sent me to check on the deep space satellite. They thought old Spacey might be malfunctioning, but I couldn't find a single thing wrong with it. Which is probably how I got a shot of my beautiful bee-helmeted face, come to think of it. I always thought it was kind of sweet that the best thing to find old Spacey is to use a map that's generated by the satellite itself, isn't it? Like it's inviting us to visit. Good old deep space satellite, always making sure we know where we're going. I have a map? Wait, don't I have a map? Yeah, one standard with all our spacesuits, the one you have with you at all times that opens with the press of a button. That map. You didn't get conked on the head by a rock or a meteorite or something on your way here, did you? No shame in that, happens to me all the time. In case you were at a specialty hour, don't forget you can jump into your ship and use your solar system map to lock onto any astral body. It's the easiest way to visit old Spacey, too. Whoa, that's the cannon breaking apart at the start of each time loop? For real? Did you figure out why? Over enthusiasm. Too much power. It's kind of scary how much that sounds like something Slade or Feldspar would do. I'm pretty surprised Nomai built something that actually broke. Come to think of it though, broke might be the wrong word, because it looks like the orbital probe cannon is still firing successfully at the beginning of each time loop. I think I've already asked about the quantum poem, but might as well. Oh yeah, the one in the woods, I remember that. Pretty fun, right? Works out to a good 24 poems, so I'm done exploring. I want to make some quantum art. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's double josh. Okay, I thought my ship was gone. Not that it matters well, I'd like to use my ship to get to the twister, so that is useful. Do. Terrific. Why is it so far away? It was the only jellyfish in sight, so I figured it was super close, but I can't get to it in time. What the hell? Nah, it's definitely too late. Alright, that one's just coming out. That one's reaching its zenith, so maybe we can get to that one. Excuse me. Thank you, kind sir. Yes, this is another slow process. I'm really hoping the coordinates don't change. That would be a big bummer. Good. God, this thing was creepy. Looks like the idea of God or whatever it's called from Berserk, but it's just a friendly little probe module. Okay, no, I don't want to. I don't need to go down here. Curious if I can find that mask though. Can coordinates do not change. Those are the coordinates every single time. And they're stored in Ash Twin, which is the center of the whole memory looping thing, so that makes sense. It would be real... I know the game has dealt a lot with quantum shit, but I think at this point, like, seeing this text so explicitly said, it would be really mean of the game if there's extra steps I have to do to make sure it stays at those coordinates. I'm really hoping I have all the information I need and my plan is sound. And the plan is... it's really just 2 stops. If the coordinates are the same, it's really just 2 stops. Also, I'm realizing now, I didn't make this realization until I got to Ash Twin Project, but these double stone things are functioning the same way as the ones Solanum used. Of 1 stone for orange of like someone talking to you, and then 1 stone for blue of you are the one doing the talking. I had not made that connection until now, but that's quite cool. And there's a functioning statue. I don't know who it's supposed to be paired to, if anyone, but yeah, we got our statue. Okay. So yeah, it's really just 2 stops. So actually timing shouldn't be too stressful. We gotta wait for the towers to appear, unfortunately, so that's gonna be tedious. Yeah, that's the most time-wasting thing, is waiting for the towers to appear, heading on in, getting the warp core, and then waiting for the teleportation warp pad to work again, which we'll have to wait for the storm to show up again. Getting back in our... come on. Getting back in our ship, heading for Dark Bramble, and doing the whole Hullabaloo. getting to the vessel, plugging in the coordinates. Which, honestly, plugging in the coordinates is the... I legitimately also want to practice that, just because using the telepathic orb thingies in 0G has not been my best skill set in this game. But knowing that I only have 2 stops, I'm not terribly worried about timing, which I was when I thought I might have to either come back to Giant's Deep each time or go through the Quantum Moon each time. Is it? No, I can. It's not really worth the time. Jellyfish are, unfortunately, quite slow. I was thinking of, like, wow, these coordinates aren't nearly, like, complex enough to merit, like, coordinates across all of space-time. When you think about how many combinations you can make with a single hexagon, that's gotta be what? Like, any single point can be, like, activated, and they can be combined in all other ways. I don't know what the math problem would be on that, but it is a very, especially if you have 3 of them, that is a lot of possible combinations. It's still probably a little bit simplified in terms of just how complex the data would need to be to really specify a specific place in the entire universe, but there are enough possible combinations. It is a large enough number of possible combinations that I'm not, like, mad about it. Okay. Sorry, testing. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick stop on Owl Rock, just to see if that random guy has anything he needs to say to us. Boink. Hey, man. Oh, I don't even get to tell them I've discovered anything? Man, that's a bummer. Anyways, I'm going to accuse this person of spying. What? No, it's not spying. It's one-way communication that none of the villagers know about, because I never told them. Alright, well, that didn't have as much going on as I expected, but you're also the beginner character, so. Okay. Now we're going to do a practice run. We're going to head for Ash Twin. See how efficient we can be about this. We can't be that efficient if the sun is going to get in the way. I'm going to fall into the fucking sun, aren't I? God damn it. Let's meditate. I decided I didn't want to do it that loop, so I'm deciding to meditate instead. Anything could have ended that cycle. There's no way of knowing that the sun is what did it. Okay, let's try that again. This is actually going to be more useful because this will, at least, the Ash Twin will be where it would be at the beginning of a cycle. Getting practice of getting to Ash Twin as quickly as possible, always good to get a little bit more, even though I've done that plenty of times. Just when I decided the Twins would be my first stop on the journey. And yeah, they're pretty close by, if we head the right way. So yeah, another thing is figuring out, can I piece together where the towers are going to be in an efficient manner. God, I remember back when I figured the sand was going back and forth on Ash Twin, Ember Twin with every cycle. And I was like, golly, that's tedious. I'm going to get really annoyed by that. And then once I figured out, it's like, no, one cycle is just all of the sand going from Ash Twin to Ember Twin. I was like, oh, that's chill. I can work with that. Also, I can probably stay in orbit and watch the storm. Just so I'm not risking any, like, oxygen deprivation or anything. Storm still hasn't even started yet, huh? Okay, there it goes. So if we just stay directly behind the storm, that should be actually our most efficient way. Although we have to land next to it, otherwise my ship's going to fucking go wild. And potentially crash into the geometry of Ember Twin itself and be completely irretrievable. And if that happens on the loop where I deactivate the Ash Twin project, that'll be bad. So I don't want to do that. Okay, there's Sun Tower. Do the twins come right after Sun? That sequence would make sense, right? Since they're the ones that are closest to the Sun. It goes also, the tower was not as tall, so... Do. Hey man, where are the towers? I thought the sun was like a little bit taller. I thought I would at least have seen one other one by now. That's a really cool shadow. It takes a while, huh? That's a bummer. Might fuck this whole thing up. Also, how long does this one cycle around the planet take? How have we not even gotten back to the Sun Tower yet? I feel like I've been doing this for 5 straight minutes. Okay, there's the sun. Oh, now it's significantly chonkier. So probably the best thing to do is actually land at the sun tower as soon as it comes into view, and then it's just a waiting game, because this is going to be the Twins probably. There they are. Okay. So we'll land over by the... Or we should pick the... Which one? Ah, shit. We're still not even there, are we? Which one's the broken one? This one is. Okay, so we'll land on this side. As I gaze upon my Artemis 2 poster, the upcoming mission in which we will be heading to the moon but not landing on it, my nerddom of space exploration has taught me that oftentimes doing a trial run is very, very wise. So even though this is tedious, this is still going to be a test run. This is not going to be the actual one. Because I really want to see how much time I'll have to get from here to Bramble and to the vessel. I'm hoping at the very least I should be able to get into the project this go around. Is that why there's so many cactuses around here? Because they just teleported them all out? That's kind of wild. Alright, cool. That's pretty good timing. For it to be directly overhead, and then